pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HOBO Racing Cup Series season opener from the Daytona International Speedway, brought to you by TeamSpeedlan. We are so glad you joined us here tonight from this historic 2.5-mile super speedway just down the street from the historic Daytona Beach. Of course, one Daytona has risen from the ashes as we await another great night of racing here on JTN. My name, of course, Joe Twansky, up here in the booth. I will serve as your host through all the action here tonight. And again, can't thank you enough for tuning in here this evening. Make sure, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Doing so help support us so much here on JTN. We cannot thank you enough for all of said support. Also, make sure you say hello in chat if you're tuning in out there. We're going to go for 70 laps here tonight for these HOBO Racing Cup Series drivers. The typical season opener that we've seen for years now here on JTN. I believe this is our 4th season opener with our friends here at HOBO. Should be a fun night of racing action. We'll get you filled in on all the stories, on all the things as the night goes on. But again, it's Daytona. It's a season opener. We know how important this race is for these drivers, especially to take home a victory on these hallowed grounds. Qualifying is currently underway. Drivers getting in their fast lap of the night. See who will come home with the best track position to start the race. And then, well, you'll see if they're able to keep that pace up and take it on home into victory lane. Should be looking at about 18 laps on a tank of Sunoco Racing fuel here this evening. Wouldn't expect drivers to want to take tires all that often, but maybe, just maybe, you come down, you take some tires. If you have the opportunity to do so, it might not be a bad thing here tonight to make sure that you're raring to go, ready to go here from Daytona. You always want a little bit of extra handling underneath you, especially later on in the race. It's always a very, very helpful thing to have. So yeah, I don't know, folks. That's about it. Of course, coming off of the Daytona 500 this past weekend. A lot of interesting stories coming out of that one. I'm sure I will get the opportunity to tell you my thoughts and opinions as the night wears on. You'll also be able to check out this week's edition of the Fake Racers podcast over on Track and Turf, where we'll talk about that more in depth. That'll be later on this week, so I encourage you to go over to our friends at Track and Turf, parent at Track and Turf, and give them a follow. Welcome in, and always glad to see you in chat, tuning in. Know you're cheering on Steve, and of course Danny. Looking forward to seeing what those two do here tonight if they get the opportunity to link up with each other. And sending you well wishes as well. There we go. Now I can see everything out there, but you'll see those qualifying times start to trickle across the top of your screens at home. Herman Reese right now, provisional pole sitter, 47.117. The time that he has set McLean there with a 47.15. Lingle with something similar than some 47.22s. Randy Smith just jumped up into the top 5 in position number 4 here is set as the session is coming to its end. Again, just waiting on these qualifying results to go final. And then, of course, I'll get the honor of reading you off tonight's starting lineup here from Daytona. 70 laps again here around this 2.5 mile super speedway. Gonna be a fun night for Bristol on the cams. Always does a great job showing us replays throughout the night. Make sure you let him know that he's a good boy. Again, nice. We love having you here, Ian. We're so glad we get to do this once again this year. This is always one of the big races on our calendar here at JTN, and one that I always am very, very excited for and can't wait to take you through tonight's race. Let's go ahead, though, and go through tonight's starting lineup, because we got to set the field before we race this evening. It's Herman Reese on the pole in the number 73, a time of 47.117 seconds. Keith McLean with a 47.15 in the 28 will start to his outside. Row 2 is the 113 of Caleb Lingle and the 10 of Randy Smith. Wiley King in the 95 and Ron Simpson in the 25 make up row number 3. Row 4 is going to be the 11 of Steve Grant and the 124 of Rick Castle. Rounding out your top 10 tonight will be Mike Erickson in the 69 and the 46 of Bob Gibson. The 31 of Jeff Stukenis and Harry Codian in the 13 roll off in row number 6 with Eddie Rayleigh and Troy Donahue in row number 7. Fugate in the number 9 and Stenzo in the 051 roll off in row number 8, with row 9 being comprised of the 07 of Steve Rubino and the 49 of Irv Johnston. Row number 10 here tonight is going to be the 22 of Jason San Diego and the 77 of Daryl Johnston. Duke Sorensen in the 59 and Dan Rubino in the 44 roll off in row number 11, with DJ Hinsky in the 14 and 23rd. 24th is Rob Heath in the 27. The 78 of Ryan Johnson rolls off in 25th. Eli in the 114 rolls off in position number 26. And Donnie... Oh, I'm going to mess this up. Donnie Boliva in the 332 lines up in position number 27. Then 2 cars did not take a time. The 94 of Ken Hansen and the 33 of Mark DeSenza round out your field of 29 cars here tonight from Daytona. You see, again, some of those drivers out there right now getting their last-minute adjustments, get all those mirrors fixed. That way you can throw those blocks as the night goes on. Again, get ready for what promises to be a fun night of racing action, a great night of racing action. We're so glad you joined us here on JTN. Welcome in, Magoo. See Fugate and Donahue there. And And just coming down to the end of the session here before we go racing again for 70 laps here tonight in Daytona. It's always good. Daytona season's always good to us here on JTN. We always get some good races. This one will probably be more of the same. I would have to assume. Welcome in, Barb. A couple drivers taking this opportunity to come down pit lane. Caleb Lingle there in the 113. He's, of course, starting up front. And Hansen taking a crack at pit lane. And we'll get these cars lined up here in a few moments. Get ready to go racing from the World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Speedway. Again, 70 laps here tonight for these drivers. Stars, cars, and all. As field gets lined up here on the pit lane, and we await the command to get engines fired from Daytona. Welcome in, Rich.
Drivers, start your engines!
As there is the command, and engines are fired. Again, it's Herman Reese rolling off from the pole here tonight. Keith McLean to his outside. Caleb Lincoln and Randy Smith there in row 2. Wiley King and Ron Simpson there in row number 3. Make our way through the rest of the field here tonight. A lot of good-looking race cars. We're gonna have a fun one. Be interesting to see if teammates get linked up here early on in the race. You see some of those TeamSpeedlan cars towards the front. You know, the 28, 73, 113. They're all very familiar with working with each other. We'll watch, wait, and see how all these things work out. It's a complex equation. Oftentimes, on the super speedways, you have drivers sometimes that you just like working with. As the field makes their way off of turn 4, fans around the world on their feet, getting ready for another season of HOBO Racing Cup Series action live right here on JTN to kick it off. Dodge Charger pace car makes the hard left turn down the pit lane, gives way to Herman Reese in the 73, and we are racing from Daytona. Green flags in the air, and we're underway. Slow, methodical, up to speed lap for these drivers. Top 10 already getting single file here. Single file all the way back to the 7th spot as Herman Reese tries to lead the field around the middle lane, but Lingle already not willing to stay in line as they come off of turn number 4 looking for second. Not able to get the position that time at the line. And now falling back without any immediate help is the 113. Randy Smith there in the 10 was going down, but left his teammates behind in the 95 and 11 cars. Jeff Stekenis already up on the move in the 31. Third car inside line. It's got the King. Not Richard Petty, but Elvis on the hood of that car. He's just a hunk of burning love. Never do that again, folks. I will never do that again, I promise you. Simpson in the 25, now clear for 5th. Erickson there in the 69 will now battle Lingle for 6th. You're seeing that inside line. You know, they're a little more formed up here where we're kind of having our attention focused on that battle for 5th and 6th. A little more formed up. See a big gap there between the 69 and 124 cars. You really want to keep those gaps as small as possible to conserve and preserve all the energy of the pack. But you also want to make sure you're comfortable. I'm actually quite surprised with how fast this race got single file at the front. A lot of times it feels like in these early season races you see some of that, some loose conditions there off the corner for a couple guys. Saw Randy Smith, Bob Gibson, both maybe a little uncomfortable there with their handling on corner exit down the back straightaway. That car starts to unload as you get to the flat back straightaway. Can start to cause some issues. Erickson still thinking about trying to go to that bottom lane. Lingle still trying to lead the inside. Now Randy Smith going to drop out of there in the 10. He's going to go to the back of the pack. We'll need some space to clear up here into turn 3. Oh, he didn't get it. Big crash here in turn number 3. Caution going to come out for the first time tonight. A couple of cars, one up and over. That's Hinsky in the 14. Sorensen caught up in it as well. Caution for the first time here in turn 3. You saw the 10 car. Thought he was dropping out of line, but maybe had an issue. Gets down on the flat. Comes up, barely clips the 59. 27 also involved, 44. Thought this might have been an issue. Hinsky gets the worst of it. Clobbered by the... Gets checked by the 44. New York Rangers on board with Dan Rubino. Rubino said he wanted some TV time. I don't think that's what he meant. First caution of the night allows most of the field to come down pit lane. Fuel only for a lot of these leaders. So we're working this first caution of the night, folks. Can't thank you enough for tuning in. Little bit of chaos down there in turn number 3, but we'll be single file for the restart. See if these guys want to ride it out. I was kind of surprised that they weren't more aggressive there at the front. Didn't see a lot of guys making any bold or brash moves. I don't believe he's out. Let's see if we can't find Danny. Oh no, he might be out. Or I'm trying to... He is not... He should still be out there. Yeah, he's still out there. There he is. He's still in the race. I got it fixed up. Got that Toyota running good now. So field gets single file here for the restart. Behind the 332. Interesting to see. All right, folks. Getting ready for the restart. Dodge Charger pace car will pull in. Green flag, and we're back underway here from Daytona. Big gap back to second place. I think they're gonna try to swallow this 332 up. You'll cycle on by high. Top 4, top 5. I'll be in line here. Nature of these restarts often. Field gets a little strung out for a lap or two before they kind of come back together. Good old-fashioned super speedway restarts. Oh, that 332 trying to get out of the way, I believe. There you go. And caught up the 69. Couple big moments from Steve Rubino there. See Caleb Lingle and Jess Dennis battling for a spot now. They really up inside the top 5. In the 112, Lingle now into 6th. As Castle and Stekenis will now battle for 7th. And Rayleigh gonna look for 4th. Really, with help from Lingle there. Really continuing to try to lead this bottom lane forward. Off of turn number 4, he'll be side by side with Grant. Tries to get things working. You're watching Herman Reese just kind of put on a masterclass with McLean there right behind him in 2nd. Those two have been in lockstep with each other since the drop of the green flag. See things getting a little pushy, argy-bargy here at the front. Herman Reese now goes down to block the inside line through the corner. That'll allow McLean to have some clean air on the nose of that 28. Reese now goes up to the top. Almost contact there between the 112 and 28. They're side by side for the second spot. Pushing and shoving, starting to get pretty hot and heavy here at the front of the field. Rayleigh trying to find a way to the inside of the 73. Wasn't able to do so. He's getting a big shove from the 113, though, heading through turns 3 and 4. This is already looking like the end of the race with how heavy and how hard the pushes are going. This is where you have to be careful if you're one of these front runners, because if you cause an accident, you know someone's going to run into you from behind. Herman Reese still leads the way. As the caution is out for the second time here tonight. One car blowing up. That's Eli. Brings out our second yellow, and engine just let go. See that gray smoke? Shuts it off right away to try to save us from... And Donahue is crashed here. Oh, he went off the nose of DeSenza. Is that what caused the caution? Johnston there in the 49 also collected up in it. And the 81 goes tumbling down the banking. Did this one start? Just a little bit of bumper grab down the back straightaway, off the nose of the 33 to the back bumper of the 81. And that's why you can't hit in the left rear, folks. Oh. Yeah, Donahue just goes for the worst end of this, gets kind of smushed in between the 49 and the wall. The way physics works in the video game, much different than physics in the real world, unfortunately, with hitboxes, and that takes Donahue out of this race. Tire Field once again going to take the opportunity to come down pit lane. Now, Herman Reese was able to win the race off pit road. Keith McLean might have been taking a bathroom break. Yeah, he's still on pit road. He's taking a bathroom break. Oh, man. I'm gonna lose all his track position. Sometimes it's better than going in the seat. So, 3 cars out of this race so far. DJ Hinsky in the 14, Troy Donahue in the 81, and Eli in the 114. All out of this one. There are some different issues, respectively. Sorensen going through to get a lap back in the 59. Out in front of the field, leading here under caution in that 44. So expect this 44 to come down pit lane, then I'll allow the 59 and the 23 to get waved around. And Sorensen taking a lucky dog here. Now I'll hand the lead back over to Herman Reese. Dan Rubino comes down the pit lane, working our second caution of the night here from Daytona. Still looking at about 2 pit stops. Make it to the end of this race on fuel. Again, working that second caution. So Herman Reese going to lead us back to green. Caleb Lingle there in second. Eddie Rayleigh, Wiley King, and Steve Grant, your top 5 for the restart. Coming to lap 22 of 70 here from Daytona. Dodge Charger pace car will be coming on in. Herman Reese with control. Green flag, and we're back underway. Good jump by the 113 there on the restart. He's tight to the back bumper of the 73. Different players here at the back half of the top 10. Some new paint schemes on those TeamSpeedlan cars. Wiley King, Steve Grant up here. Not for the first time tonight, but back up here at least. Caleb Lingle with a big move to the inside. He's looking for the lead. He has help from Rayleigh. Here comes the 113. He'll take over the top spot. Push coming from behind, and Herman Reese is going to lose 2, 3, 4 spots at least here. And for the first time tonight, the 73 not leading under green flag conditions. See if that Cadillac can make his way somewhere in line there on the bottom. No openings immediately available. Kodiak in the 13 maybe trying to get up behind the 73, give him a push. He'll get into that outside line, and that'll allow Gibson in the 46 to get to his left rear quarter. And they're single file up in front of this battle that we're watching here on screen. Steve Rubino now getting into that outside line. Mark Desenza thought about it. Now ducks back behind Stakkenis. In the 31. Fugate now jumping to the outside line. Rubino a little bit of swaying in the wind there behind the 13. Now the leaders look to go back up. Fugate cut the nose off the 46 there heading into turn 1. I don't know if he knew how close he was to getting turned into the grass there. To the inside of turns 1 and 2. Right now that battle is for the 8th spot between the 46 and 73. Fugate covering the outside line in front of Herman Reese. All the cars in front of him have now migrated up there. Again, seeing some tight side-by-side racing here in the lead draft. Watching and waiting to see what happens as Gibson is now leading this inside line. He's coming up on his 2 TeamSpeedlan teammates. And a big thank you to Steve Grant, TeamSpeedlan, for their sponsorship of tonight's race. Being live here on JTN. As Wiley King makes the move to the bottom. He's looking for second, and he'll be trying to go for the lead. See if his teammate goes with him. Steve Grant pulls down now. When you see those cars with JTN logos, that's an extra 15 horsepower, folks. Now 11 cars trying to cover both lanes right now. As Wiley King's looking to go for the lead here off of turn number 4, side by side with Caleb Lingle. Lingle, though, has the help a little bit closer. They're a little more organized in that outside line right now. Everyone holding steady gaps right now. The outside just a little bit closer. They'll continue side by side for the race lead. Wiley King now just noses out in front down the back straightaway. Outside line will carry the momentum as they do. Really giving that 113 a big push down into turn 3. Propelling Lingle back to the lead. But again, the 95 will be able to just nose ahead here off of turn 4. And the momentum will start to carry the outside once again. Lingle clear. Now not clear through the tri-oval. And that's got to be frustrating for a spotter too, because you got to just keep calling inside, inside, inside. Because of how quickly that situation changes. Not seeing the same level of aggression with the bumps right now. Really, the 112's the best pusher, it seems like, right now. Really is all over the back bumper of Lingle. Those two Fords working very well together at the moment. Rayleigh now clear in the 112. Does he try to move to the bottom and control that lane? Or does he stay loyal to the back bumper of the 113? This would be his opportunity to try to snag away the race lead. Castle there in the 124. Maybe be your next car that could get aggressive. Trying to get down there in front of the inside line if he's able to clear it. And it's so tense here at the front of the field too for Lingle, because he's kind of in a position where he probably knows that this 112 is going to stick with him for the time being, but you never know, and you don't want to give up control of the race right now. You like having your number card at the top of the scoring pylon. Pays out some bonus points too if you lead the most laps, of course. So here comes Rayleigh. He's looking to the inside. And he's just looking right now. He's just peeking down there. Just taking a little peek. Peeks again. Taking a looky-loo. Top three now all clear of the inside line. And that 124's got to feel a little more comfortable. Now he's going to do what he thought about it. See if he can take Ryan Johnson with him. Johnson going to duck down there, and then you see Rayleigh go down to cover. Lingle goes down to cover as well, and Rayleigh now going to go high to cover the 124. So maybe a little bit of blocking going on here at the front of the field. Everyone trying to keep control of this race. It's so valuable to be the leader on a super speedway. And people think it's just all about blocking, but it's really having your nose out front. It's safety, it's security. Helps the ego too. Believe it or not, race car drivers, even the virtual ones, are a little ego driven. Big crash here. Oh my goodness. Oh! The lack of reaction is because of the disbelief as the leaders wreck. Oh my goodness. They always do so at such an inopportune time. Folks, this is why... Oh my goodness. Fugate was able to get to the outside. And what happens here for Caleb Lingle is he gets stuck in the sucker hole. Rayleigh's to his inside. Fugate's still to his outside, and he keeps trying to come up. 9 car can't go anywhere. And that starts the big one. Here, right in the tri-oval. Kenneth gets a piece of it. Ooh, Steve Rubino. He goes for a spin, but I think he's going to be okay. But again, this is how we saw things starting to get aggressive. We talked about trying to control this race, it being such a crucial part. Stenzo caught up in it. Johnston there in the 77. Erickson. It's going to help bring some of these other guys back up into it, at least. If there's a positive. It's like a bomb going off, because it happens right here at the front of the field, too. Honestly, lucky that more guys weren't caught up in this, especially with that 124 screaming coming back up the racetrack. Let's go on board with Jeff Stekenis here in the 31. Does a good job of getting through it for the most part. Especially considering where he is when it starts. Keeping in it, rolling off the throttle. And now at that point, you're hoping that 124 isn't going to slide up right in front of you. Let's see, who else could we go on board with? Let's go on board with the 13 of Harry Kodian through this incident. It's Harry doing a good job getting through it. On board with Ryan Johnson. Drive this thing through the grass. That is so uneasy doing that. There's absolutely no grip down there. Go ahead and go on board with Fugate. So again, he's going to get a run here through turns 3 and 4. Langle's going to go up to block, goes up to block. Fugate lets it... I mean, he completed the block, but then Fugate was still able to get to the outside. Langle just comes up just a little bit. And he just hooked bumpers. Just a good view of the incident, though. At least with the 9 pointing backwards. Yeah, that brings out your third caution of the night. Most of these leaders coming down pit lane. Taking advantage of the opportunity. Eddie Rayleigh, now your race leader. Or will cycle through as the race leader. Puts us in the window to make it on one pit stop to the end of this race. Randy Smith right now scored as the leader, but this 10 car still has yet to pit. So Rayleigh will have the race lead here. We'll go back to green on lap 40. It'll be 31 laps to go from Daytona. One pit stop will get these guys to the end of the race from here. Interesting to see how aggressive the moves are, knowing that everyone has to make that one pit stop to get to the end. So Rayleigh no longer has his support in Lingle. But he has one heck of a race car. And sometimes that's better than having some support. Now, you'd rather have the support and the really good race car. But you'll take the really good race car, or you'll take the support. You will, you'll take one or the other if you absolutely are telling me I can only get one, though. I mean, I kind of want the good race car. I'm selfish. I'll be honest. I would like the good race car. But that's just me. Maybe I'm selfish. Pace car is in. Rayleigh with control. DeSenza in second. Wiley King, Ryan Johnson, and Herman Reese your top 5. Green flag. We're back away here. Lap 40 of 70 from Daytona. Ryan Johnson trying to get to the inside of Wiley King. Really leading the leaders down onto the bottom. Those TeamSpeedlan cars getting together. They're in that outside. Pack once again kind of splintering here on restart. And if these leaders can get in a single file line, they'll be able to kind of break away from the rest of this field. Because they weren't able to get sorted quick enough. Steve Rubino kind of leading Ken Hansen, Jason San Diego. Hansen looks to the inside, so that'll again slow those guys down. If you're back there, you're talking to these other drivers, and you're like, hey, come on now. You just try to work together. You want a chance to win this race, you gotta be single file. You don't want to be side by side, punching that huge hole in the air. You want to be efficient. Efficiency is the name of the game with the draft and making up time. Not numbers. Not width. But efficiency and cohesiveness. Caution is out. Can't quite tell what for. I think we might have lost another car off the list. And that we did Stenzo blowing up down the back straightaway in the 051. That brings out caution number 4. And not able to make it on fuel from here, but you could come down, top off, try to shorten up that last pit stop, something that we've seen be a trend in the NASCAR Cup Series here in the next gen era. The fuel save, to save as much fuel as possible because of the way the stage brakes are, to make that pit stop at the end very quick. Be surprised to maybe see some drivers employ a similar strategy. Implore? Whatever. Cars staying out. Descenza, Ryan Johnson, they both elect to stay out and keep their track position. Maybe they'll pit here at the end of the caution period, but everyone else coming down pit road. We're going to see a lot of fuel-only stops. Try to gain some time. Herman Reese will be able to take the lead off of pit lane or win the race off pit road. We'll wait and see if these two leaders end up coming down the pit lane under this cycle. It's caution period. But a reminder, folks, if you haven't already, click the like button on the video and subscribe. Only 4 of you have done so far. We'd appreciate it if more of you did. It is a big help and a great way to show your support for us here on JTN. Of course, I can't thank you enough for all the support you've given us here at JTN over the years now. It's been a great honor to be able to call some fantastic races and finishes here with our friends at HOBO. Hopefully we're setting up for another good one here tonight. I think we will be. Just gotta wait and see how things are gonna shake out here. Especially with fuel not maybe again not coming into play in the same vein as as it did in the Daytona 500, but still gonna play a role in what we see here. Those two staying out to keep their track position. Not entirely shocked by the decision. I think it's a good one. It's always a good decision to try to get track position, keep it, don't lose it. Probably the understatement of the year, if I had to guess. But, don't see how things shake out here. So Mark DeCenza with control here for the restart, coming to lap 47 of 70. Pace car pulls in on down the pit lane. Green flag, and we're back underway. See Steve Rubino there in the 07. He's got help from Harry Kodian in the 13. Harry trying to push that 07 car forward. DeCenza's still in the race lead. They now get into that outside line right in front of Ron Simpson in the 25. Simpson all the way up against the outside wall. Kodian now looking to the outside of Rubino here off of turn 2. Wasn't able to make a move. They're single file here at the front of the field. I think they're going to be single file for a little while. You see the field getting single file here at the front. I think everyone just willing to play the waiting game, knowing that a pit stop is yet to come. Some guys looking to push forward, though. Steve Rubino trying to lead the charge, and there's going to be contact. 25 around in the grass here in turns 3 and 4. 07 back up the track right in front of Ken Hansen. Caution going to come out. Big crash behind them. There's the caution that gets us in the window to make it to the end, and a big crash heading down into turn number 3. For quite a few drivers, this one's going to end some hopes and dreams they had of Daytona glory. You see the replay, 07, 25, one's drifting up, one's drifting down. This 07's going to come back up the track. Oh. And they're all just crashing behind him. Ugh. That checkup behind. Welcome in, Angie. It did get really fast. Here's on board with Dan Rubino. He gets run into the back, then gets it back going. Gonna run into the 10. Boy. Well, big crash here towards the end of this race. Gonna take out a few contenders. Bob Gibson out of this race now. Steve Rubino also out of this one. Wiley King able to win the race off pit road in that TeamSpeedlan number 95. All right, well, that caution shook things up a little bit here at the front of the field. And it's going to change this dynamic. Especially with how aggressive do these drivers want to be. Going back green with under 15 to go. Be a rather challenging proposition at times. Especially when you're managing so many variables. So, Wiley King will have control here for the restart. With 14 laps to go. These are tense moments for some of these drivers. It's gonna be an opportunity. As pace car pulls in, Wiley King with control. 14 laps to go here from Daytona. Green flag, and we're back racing. Watch, wait, and see if the 11 gets to the 95 and who he elects to push here. Herman Reese laying off the back bumper of Wiley King right now. He's going to try to mount a run here down the back straightaway. The car length gap separates, now 3/4. It'll close to half here. Inside line led by Keith McLean. He's got help from Harry Kodian, still single file behind them in the immediate vicinity. Now the field packs back up here at the front. Really big moment there off the corner. Herman Reese looking for the race lead down to the bottom to the inside of Wiley King for the top spot. He's got help coming from behind. King, all he can do is hope, watch, and pray that the 73 doesn't get enough momentum to carry up in front of him off of turn number 2. Can Herman Reese clear the outside? He can't. Big shove coming from the 112 to the back of the 95. Inside line has 3 cars formed up fairly well. Not enough, though, to match those in the outside line. Wiley King goes high as there's contact. Steve Grant's into the outside wall. They're 3 wide for a second, and that's going to break up this outside line. Caution going to come out, though, for an incident behind the pack. Well, we'll let things get a little tense again. Ron Simpson is slow down the back straightaway. Went for a spin, got down on apron, corrects it back right, goes back left, trying to save it. Car finally goes around on him, back up the track. That brings out the caution for the 6th time here this evening. I think that's what that contact with the 11 was. Result of. Steve Grant loses some positions out of that. I don't know if he started checking up too early. Maybe the guys around him didn't check up enough. So Wiley King gonna try to hold on for the victory here. We'll go back green, somewhere around 8 laps to go. That whole first lap oftentimes is just a kind of a setup lap, let's say. Comes critical because it's kind of where you figure out in your rear view who you're gonna have to push on you. I'm sorry, Bino. That was definitely a tough way to have the night end. Let's see who you guys got winning this race in chat. I don't make picks because I don't like jinxing folks. I always feel like I end up jinxing whoever I pick. But I'd like to see who you guys think, because you guys have been watching along with us here tonight. Done blowed up. Six weeks without Bino here at Hobo. Oh my goodness. Of course, Angie. He's gonna have a shot here. He's gonna need a couple things to fall his way. Maybe he won't have a shot. He's all the way back in 18th, so he came down pit road there. Maybe to repair some damage, maybe throw some tape on the grill areas. That number 11 car. I think it's going to be hard for anyone outside this top 5 to win the race. Just with how, you know, we like I said, we lose a lap getting up to speed. We're going to only have 8 to go. Right place, right time, that's right. A la William Byron on Sunday nights. Never seen a man get so lucky. Thanks, Danny. Getting ready for the restart. 8 laps to go here from Daytona. Wiley King with control. Herman Reese, Eddie Rayleigh, Keith McLean, Mark DeCenza, your top 5 here. Restart. Again, 8 laps to go, and we are back green. And already a big shove from the 112 to the back of the 73. Remember that 28 and 73, they're going to work together here if they can get lined up. 112, 113 have worked together very well throughout the night as well. And Wiley King out in front. Feels like he's a lone man. Lincoln and Cody side by side. DeCenza there as well. Herman Reese, big move to the inside. He's going to take Rayleigh. He'll take McLean as there's contact there with the 13. 33's up and over. 22 also collected up in it. Watch the race back to the line. Battling for positioning here for the ensuing restart. But Herman Reese able to take over the top spot with a big crash behind them off of turn number 4. One's flipping. That's Castle in the 124. Caution out for the 7th time here tonight. Kind of make out how this one started. Saw DeCenza and Cody side by side. 13 gets up into the 33. 113 collected up in it. 22 also collected. Oh, a couple big licks there. Grant able to get through it. Randy Smith getting through it. Jason San Diego took a couple big hits here. There's one. Here comes... Maybe not. 27, Rob Heath ends up on his roof. Ooh. Thank you, Barb. Have a wonderful evening. Bugate once again getting a good camera shot through this one. On board with the visor cam. On top of the 59, Duke Sorensen. So it sets things up rather interestingly. It's where you start getting a pit in your stomach, folks. Getting ready for one of these restarts. with only a few laps left when we get it. Things get a little tense. Get a little nervous, you get a little scared. For Herman Reese, you gotta feel like you're gonna get some help from the 28. That 112 jumps out of line. I think it's gonna be some critical decisions to be made here rather quickly, because we're gonna go back green. It's gonna be 3 laps to go. Caution would end the race. It'll make things rather tense. Rather tense. Pace car lights are off. So again, go back green next time at the line. Pins and needles. Yeah. Sitting on them here. Dodge Charger pace car hopefully is coming down the pit lane for the final time here tonight. Herman Reese with control. 3 laps to go here from Daytona. Green flag, and we're back underway, and already some big moves being made, railing to the bottom. That 112 trying to snag the race lead. He's going to have help from the 28. Herman Reese able to cover. See Stakenis and Fugate, they're lined up, and those 2 Dodges in the outside line as well. Rayleigh getting a gap to the 73. He's going to try to make a run here down the back straightaway. Pulls up in front of the 95. Herman Reese able to throw a block there on the 112 from the race lead. Top 3 now clear. Single file as here comes Rayleigh to the outside. Eddie Rayleigh has the more immediate help in the form of Wiley King there in the 95 off of turn number 4. Going to the line, it'll be 2 laps to go here from Daytona. Argy-bargy, push and shove. It's time to go, go, go. If you're here at the front of the field, there's one car slow through the tri-oval. If you're these drivers at the front, unless you're maybe one of the 2 leaders, you don't want one of those fun flags to come out here with only a lap and a half left at Daytona, nor do we want that to happen if we're up here in the booth and the fans here at the track. Couple cars into the wall there down the back straightaway. They are more formed up. Rayleigh there in the 112. Trying to seal the deal. That U.S. Army Ford has been up front all night long, but Herman Reese, he had the quickest car in town. He's looking for the race win. 1 lap to go. White flag in the air, presented by Death Craver. 1 to go. Go check out the novel by Zach Rogers, now available on Amazon. It's a great time, just like we're having a great time here with the white flag in the air. 1 lap left. Inside line now is more formed up than the outside. Herman Reese going to get a big shove from Keith McLean there on the bottom. Down the back straightaway they go. That Cadillac and Fusion, they are battling nose to nose down into turn 3. Herman Reese now able to get clear. Does he clear up in front of the 112 off of turn number 4? Doesn't even look like it's going to be a thought that goes across the mind of driver number 73. Herman Reese takes the checkered flag and wins here at Daytona as they crash behind him at the line. Stukenis comes home in 3rd. Keith McLean 2nd. What a finish. See the run to the finish here once again. Contact between the 112 and 31 coming to the line. Wiley King also collected up in it. Steve Grant, Randy Smith, TeamSpeedlan, all getting taken out there after the finish. Good thing it's virtual, folks. Hey, really, though, not going to be... Can't be happy with the way this one finishes. Herman Reese takes home another Daytona checkered flag. We'll get to talk with him. We'll also talk with Keith McLean, Jeff Stukenis, your top 3 finishers here tonight, as Reese burns it down for the fans here in Daytona. We'll move on to our post-race coverage, folks. Stick around. We'll talk again with our podium finishers here tonight. As always, can't thank all of you at home for tuning in. Can't thank all of these drivers enough for the fun time, great race they put on for us. Your top 20 finishers there. We'll get full results for you in a moment. Let those results marinate on your screens at home, though. But man, oh man, what a finish to this one. Herman Reese does a masterful job of holding everyone at bay. To lock up another Daytona victory. Thank you, Angie. Let's go ahead and head on down into victory lane and talk with the driver of the number 73, Herman Reese. Herman, do you have a copy?
Hey, Joe, how are you? Good to talk to you.
Hey, it's great to talk to you. I'm doing good. I don't think I'm doing as well as you, though, because you qualify on pole, you lead the most laps, and you take home the checkered flag to start the season. How's that feel?
That's a good start to the season after the way my season started last year in this race. So, yeah, we got wrecked at the end. But there's no way I was going to beat without Keith and Jeff coming up there and give me a push, I just was kind of outmanned there. You saw it in the middle of the race. The guys, when they know you got a fast car, they're not going to work with you at times. They can't, they got to get you in the back because my car was really fast tonight.
How much leeway, though, does that give you having that fast race car to maybe make a mistake here or there, or giving yourself the ability to afford those guys maybe teaming up on you to shuffle you out?
To be honest, it helped me relax a little bit because I knew that I had a really good car, and I just don't make anything crazy and take what it was giving me. And when I got shuffled back, I'm like, okay. And you saw at one point I got shuffled back to about 9th, and then they dropped to the bottom, and I pushed the 9 almost to the lead there till that big incident. I don't know how I didn't escape getting in that, but just the car, I was like, I knew early on, man, this thing's pretty good tonight.
How tough is it when you get separated from those teammates? Of course, I think Keith took his patented restroom break there early on. He kind of gets lost in the shuffle. And then you're kind of up there fighting by yourself with those guys. How tough is that in that moment, especially when it's early in the race? And then you already mentioned being able to keep your composure and calm down, knowing that you had a fast race car. But how tough is that, losing that teammate early on?
Yeah, it was. Like I said, I just basically said, well, it is what it is, and Team Landspeed had their guys really rolling tonight. And I knew that they were going to stay in line. So I said, well, just take what I could get and wait for my guys to get up here. If they don't, at the end, I was really, to believe it or not, I was like, man, if Ray Dog wins this, I'm going to be happy for him because he's had so much bad luck and he had such a fast car tonight. And he was in the preferred groove, really. And had not Keith and Jeff got behind me, there's no way I probably would have been relegated to 3rd. I still would have been happy for a good points night.
Well, goes from a good to a great points night with the victory. Again, most laps led, qualified on pole. Solid night from start to finish, Herman. Congratulations on the big win here to start the year. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. Got some great folks behind you, some great sponsors, some great teammates. The floor is yours. You know what to do, buddy.
All right. Thank you. Team Landspeed, thanks for putting this race on. We're going to have some more, I think, by the end of the year. And my team, the 4 horsemen, 3 of the 4 pulled out 1, 2, 3 podium finish, like the 24 hours of Daytona. I was joking with them, told them you should bring us all in here one time. We could do like the 24-hour deal, working on our stuff. And it's a good way. We had a pretty good year last year with winning every championship that Hobo had to offer, and hope to redo that, put a challenge out to those guys.
Well, Herman, a great start.
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks to the Bino brothers too. Sorry they didn't finish tonight. Those guys make it available for us to do this every week.
Well, Herman, again, you get a great start to the year here with the victory. Congratulations on it. Always a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for your time. And best of luck chasing those championships once again here in 2025.
Thank you, Joe. You have a good night.
You too. Herman Reese, driver of the number 73, your winner here tonight from Daytona. Let's go ahead next and talk with our second place finisher. He's the driver of the number 28, Keith McLean. Mac Daddy, you got a copy?
Mac Daddy in the house.
For a little bit there, I didn't know if you were going to be in the house because you decided to take a long pit stop. Do you want to care to explain to the folks at home what happened there?
Evan Williams had to come out. Goes in, it comes out. And I didn't never think I'd get back up there. Oh my God. I kept getting behind damaged cars and losing the draft. And I was like, oh my God.
How tough was it tonight, especially with some of those shorter runs that we got in between cautions, to make up that time? Because, of course, it takes a lap or so to get going before you can really start making passes.
Yeah, it was tough. I had a really good second and third gear on the starts, and I got 2 good starts, and Ray Dog there blocked the crap out of me twice, killed my run. But it still worked out. Harmon won. I got up there and pushed him just as hard as I could. And we had Stacanus come in there at the end. We got 3 horsemen up there.
What's going through your mind in those closing laps? You're separated there by the 112, but you got Herman up there. We kind of I had a feeling up here in the booth that was the car that you were going to be the most loyal to pushing. Right. But what's kind of going through your mind, knowing that you're racing with a teammate and a friend, especially in kind of the tense moments that the end of these super speedways produce?
It does. I mean, sometimes you get up there with your teammates and then you make a move to win the race and it works out for you and they might be pissed. But this time it was all new season. We're going to get this team going strong. So here we are. Well, first, second, third in the points already. How about that?
Well, a great start to the year here, Keith. Congratulations on the second place finish for you in this 2018. Do a great job of rallying back to the front. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. You got some great partners on the car, some great folks to shout out. Make sure you shout them all out. And yeah, floor is yours, buddy. You know what to do.
All right. I appreciate you putting on the show here today. I thank Speedlan Racing for paying for this. It was nice of them to do that. They're a good team. Wiley, thought Wiley might get it, but Ray Dog just wouldn't go with him. But I hate that for him. But shout out to Pam and Kayla, and shout out to KJ. He's somewhere drinking or sitting on the couch doing something. Who knows? And thank you, Rubino, for everything he does. We're still going strong. 29. We have 29 tonight. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 30.
30.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So anyway, we appreciate it, and we'll see you down the road, Bo.
Yep, sounds good, Keith. Again, congratulations on the second place result. Always a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for your time, and best of luck here in 2025.
Appreciate it.
Keith McLean, Matt Daddy, your second place finisher here tonight from Daytona. Let's go ahead and finally talk with our third place finisher, driver of the number 31, Jeff Stekenis. Jeff, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
All right, 3 of the 4 can only 3 of the 4 can finish in the top 3, right? But
right.
I mean, it feels pretty good to be one of those 3, right?
Didn't think I was going to be there. Did not think I was going to be there.
How back and forth was this race for you and this team? Because it felt like, you qualified there at back half of the top 10. And it just felt like you were just trapped there throughout this race.
Yeah.
How tough is that?
Yeah, you don't ever plan on being there. You try to be up at the front and creating, a hole for somebody to go through. But I don't know. It's frustrating when you mess up your own stuff where you're speeding in the pits and got to go all the way to the back and stuff like that. But I got that. So did Fugate, had a problem with that too tonight. So, but I guess overall we did rather well.
What there were a couple incidents tonight where I don't know how you got through them. How does that kind of give you like a second lease on life, or a renewed sense of purpose in a race? I don't know, to kind of put it very, very frou-frou-y.
Well, what kind of does it, like, so there was a point where I just brushed the wall because there was a wreck in front of me or whatever, because the guy come up. And I really thought, do I have any damage? And I went into the pits. And when I came back out and we actually got into the draft and I got out in front of someone, I noticed that there was, there wasn't barely any damage, and I could get pushed, and Jeff started pushing me, and I thought, okay, because once you have damage and you're in a wreck, it's just a, monotonous drive from there, but once you can, you know that you can get up through the field, then that makes you feel good.
What final question? What does it mean to start the year so strong for you and the team? Knowing how well you guys did last year, does it reinforce the good results from last year? And okay,
I mean, I won the Sunday night Daytona, so
okay, so pretty damn good start to this one too.
Yeah, 2 for 2. So and we took the winner, all us. Out of us 4, we've taken all 6 championships this year, so
well,
it makes us feel good.
Hey,
and then you come in the Daytona and take both of them, so it makes us feel real good.
Well, good feelings. Hey, vibes are high, and that's what we love to hear.
That's right. We're gonna head to Atlanta and we're gonna smoke them.
There you go. Yeah. Congratulations on the third place result here tonight. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. You got some great partners on the car. You got some great music on the car. Some great folks behind you. Floor is yours, buddy. You know what to do.
Oh, I'd like to thank everybody that come out, and Steve and Dan for running this league. And it's so fun to run with these guys and all my teammates. And they share all their stuff with me on their setups and stuff. And I think a lot of the good stuff with these guys is being able to share setups and knowing how we all drive, and I really thank them for that. It's really good. Nice.
Well, Jeff, again, congratulations on the third place result here tonight. As always, can't thank you enough for your time, and yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Jeff Stakanis, driver of the number 31, your third place finisher here tonight from Daytona. Folks, that's going to wrap up our coverage here this evening. As always, can't thank you enough for tuning in to JTN. HOBO Racing Cup Series action. If you want to get in on the action, you can head to hoboracing.com. We also have it linked down in the video description below. A big thank you tonight has to go out to the folks over at TeamSpeedlan, Steve Grant and his entire crew, for sponsoring tonight's race, for bringing JTN out to the track. We appreciate them so much, and can't thank Steve and TeamSpeedlan enough for their support. Also can't thank another Steve Rubino, enough for his support of us here on JTN. When we started this endeavor, Steve and HOBO were one of the first leagues that came to us, and we can't thank them enough for all their support over the years of bringing us out to the racetrack and allowing us to call some of the best sim racing on the web. And another great race here tonight from Daytona. Folks, again, we can't thank you enough at home for tuning in, because you are the straw that stirs the drink, that gets us out to the racetrack each and every week that we are here. Can't thank you enough for tuning in. Make sure, if you haven't already, again, drop a like, subscribe. I know I say that so much, but it really does do a lot to help us out. And as always, we can't thank you enough for all of your support. With all of that being said, though, folks, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, I've been JoeTowNetwork. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up, off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, not 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back.
No.
The wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop. Oh, my God. Ricky J big crashed into the wall. The leaders have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard on the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junk.
Through the north chute they'll go. The 24's into the wall. Almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Block 200 and through